Hello again. Welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. I hope you're having a great Memorial Day, as I am too, remembering the fallen heroes and men and women of our service. So we got Stephen Foster preview coming up this Saturday at Churchill Downs. Like I said in the previous video, we have six stakes races, three of which on turf, three of which on dirt. The dirt race is complete. Be on the lookout for that one coming out very soon. This is your turf events. So we're going to touch on that. The $20 split the pot will be for this weekend's racing. I haven't chosen the race yet. Maybe we'll collaborate on that. But to be eligible, subscribe to the channel, click that like button while you're at it. And in the comments, I have been asking you to use that hashtag BHS because it does two things. For one, I feel like it helps grow the channel, which I do very much appreciate. And for a second, I want to know that you're serious about claiming the split the pot prize because nobody stepped up out of the three I drew last week to collect. So give me your best bet for any of these three turf races. I'll put you guys in a draw and we'll see if we can't get a split the pot going for this weekend. We're going to start with race number 7. That's the Audubon Stakes. Let's take a look at the past performances. Race number 7 is a mile and an eighth on the turf. It's the Audubon Stakes. Number 1, Tomasello is a Mark Casse. I like Mark Casse on anything to do with turf. He's always very good there. Jose Ortiz, obviously great. Back-to-back wins after breaking the maiden, came back and did it again at Churchill Downs. Similar distances, mile and an eighth, mile and a 16th, but held off Discreet Dancer by a nose here. I think it's probably just a tier below, but should provide some good early speed. I like the fact that he's got out on the lead and can run a plus 11, plus 21 in a wire job there like he did at Keeneland. So hopefully we can get some pace in this race. I don't think Discreet Dancer is going to be part of it. Lost by a nose to the aforementioned Colt. Has some minor stakes experience, but I'll pass. Scipio is going to be definitely on people's radar. Number 1 in Prime Power. Big race in the breaking the maiden, then won the baffle at Santa Anita, then came over to Keeneland, ran really well in the Transylvania, just didn't get there at the end, fell short to test score, and then went after those two horses, Zulu Kingdom. I'll mention Zulu Kingdom because that's one of the best, and this race is for 3-year-olds. That's one of the best 3-year-old colts in the nation as far as like just in the ranks of turf horses in general, that age range. Messero's another one from Dale Roman's barn. Corey Lannery's got some decent results, and did win the last out, but it's probably more of just a kind of a long shot closer that might grab a piece if circumstances fall together. So Charlie is to blame, and that's Joel Rosario getting the mount, and Peter Urton. And you can see he spent some time at Turfway Park, tried the Jeff Ruby Stakes, and was out on the lead most of the way, and then just fell apart down the stretch. Just couldn't hold off the big timers like Maximum Promise and Final Gambit and such. And it was on the all weather, so I kind of forgive that. But you can see how good he was in the Kitten's Joy at Gulfstream, and Del Mar broke the maiden going a mile and a 16th. So going back to the turf, got to figure there's improvement there. 22% non-graded stakes, 17%, all that, all good things for Charlie's to blame. The only thing that I don't like is going to be that 8 when it comes to wanting the lead. It's the most. 8 is the highest score you can get for a horse that is interested in being out front. World Beater, you can see, is a presser. That's only a 2, so much less likely to go out to the lead, but likes to stay close. And finally got that maiden score here, May 2nd on Oaks Day, going a mile and an eighth. Good job, Riley Mott, Jamie Torres. World Beater, yes, but beating these horses, I'm not so sure. Could contend. It'll take, since he's by Oscar performance, it's going to take another Oscar-worthy performance to put this horse in there. So I'll probably pass. King of Ashes, Brendan Walsh, Frankie Dettori, almost got there last out. Did try the Battaglia on the all-weather, not so much, but was defeated by early adopter. Just couldn't hold him off down the stretch. So I doubt the Street Sense colt will get the pace to run on like that again. -4 pace to hold the lead. I think it's going to be a little bit more contested this time around. And here you have early adopters, probably going to be the top choice. That's Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt. You got to stand up and take notice when those two hook up. I mean, they're 69% in the money. They win one out of every four races over the last 60 days. And just all the stats point in this direction. Probably going to be extremely chalky, but sometimes you just got to take that chalk and live with it. So that's what I'm going to do here. Ran versus Zulu Kingdom on more than one occasion. Held himself pretty well in those races. Like the fourth place finish here wasn't too awfully bad in the Columbia. The Pilgrim down here ran third in the Grade 2 Pilgrim as a juvenile. So your top choice going to be early adopter, but we'll go. Charlie's to blame, I think, will be close to the lead. Tomasello is going to put that pressure on well. Charlie's to blame could hang on. I think early adopter is going to just have to outgun Scipio, Messero, and maybe another closer. But I think early adopter is better. I think Scipio should be close. Messero is a nice value-ish type closer, but I'm going to take Pratt to make the right tactical moves down the stretch and get her done there with the number 8 to the win, and then probably key box with the 3-5 or 3-4-5 underneath. So let's move on. We're going to hit up race number 9. Race number 9, Arlington Stakes, mile and a 16th on the turf, Grade 3, 4-year-olds and upward. And we are going to start with event detail. That's William Walden, Joel Rosario. Couple of trips to Turfway was what the 5-year-old needed. Moving back to the grass at Churchill Downs, he ran to second to call protection, and with Joel aboard. Now he wins one out of every 3 times, third off the layoff, 33%. So gotta like that. Then 61% in the money. So this is one you might want to have a good look at for your underneath. Prime Power should be a long shot. City of Light is the sire, so solid breeding. Then you have another Oscar-worthy performer in Cameo Performance. And Ben Curtis, I like the combo, him and Walsh. Did give it up in the Turf Classic, but wasn't beaten badly, actually. I know it says he finished 8th, but he was really only about 3 lengths back from Spirit of St. Louis and the rest. So not too bad of a performance. And then you have Gigante, and that's I love this horse, Steve Asmussen, Jose Ortiz. I just don't think this is the spot for him to get the win. It was funny that this fairgrounds event was pulled off the turf, and these back-to-back minor stakes wins were pretty good there. But then you can see didn't do very well at fairgrounds, but then pops in the Munas and should have won this race. Got beat by an 86-1. I'd rather be blessed. So I was disappointed, and then came back with a poor effort after that, but back down into better company. So Gigante might be of interest. And another one, Hershey is interest. Helen Pitts just made the debut back in April, the 2025 debut, and had a big win running a 102 speed figure. Big front end speed, held well, mile and a 16th all the way, winning by 3. And maybe just a little light on the competition, but it was still 130K in 2X allowance race. So to come in and pop like that first off the layoff is pretty commendable for Helen Pitts. And she's not so good second off the layoff or coming off a win, but at least I think the horse can get in the money. So 42% in the money, 50% graded stakes, so 50% in the money altogether in just 12 starts. Not a big barn for Helen Pitts, but this is Laginos, and this one is one of my favorites. Steve Asmussen, Flavian Pratt hook up, and yeah, tough loss to Brilliant Birdie in the opening verse at Churchill Downs. And Brilliant Birdie is obviously, those are probably going to be my top 2 choices. Major Dude was in that race, but that was a really, really good race. And if you remember the opening verse from 2024, that was the coming out party for one Carl Spackler, who's like the best turf miler in the business. So I like the fact that both these horses ran strong races and strong performances. And this one has a Grade 3 win in the Commonwealth on the track going this distance. I like that too. And lots of good races. There's a good one at Saratoga down here and some good finishes. And second in the Audubon last year. So moving up in class for this one. So I like that about him. call protection. Mike Maker moves this one from Turfway to Churchill with success, beating the rival Event Detail going 9 furlongs. Irad aboard. I think it's got a puncher's chance to get it done here. I just optional claiming down here, so not much stakes experience. Did run in the Bryan Station, but no bueno there. Brilliant birdie. So probably on the outside looking in for this one. Mike Maker is the trainer. I waffled a bit on Silent Heart. I was actually just going to instantly toss, but then after I looked, it has run really against some really good horses of late. Third by a neck in the Grade 3 Canadian Turf at Gulfstream, and that was Fort Washington, who came back to win his next race. Big time Carl Spackler integration trickery, and that was Maker's Mark Mile, who didn't fare very well there. But I don't think you got to take some stands. Louis Saez aboard does help, but I'll stand against on this one. Now, this is Mercante and Brian Nippenberg, fairly youngster as far as the training goes. He hasn't been around that long, but he's been very effective. And this looks like his first big time horse. He's got Joe Ramos riding, but went in and broke through with the big Grade 3 on the all weather at Turfway, 107 going a mile and an eighth. And then he moves him to the turf, going a mile and an eighth in the Turf Classic. And I mean, he ran a lights out race and was just caught late by Spirit of St. Louis, going on a good. It was softer than good. They called it good, but it rained all damn day. That turf should have been yielding more than anything else. So that's what makes me kind of wonder about this horse being out on the lead like that and being able to hold off other horses with a softer turf like that. So I think a firmer turf. I don't know that he's got the speed to get after it here. He's only done it once, so I'm going to have to ask him to do it again because you got Brilliant Birdie right after that. The winner of the opening verse, Sherry DeVoe, Brian Hernandez. I mean, DeVoe's just so good with turf horses, and this one is definitely one to take notice on. He'll need some pace to run into to make life easier, but I think he can run them down even if they don't. So just put a bow on this one. Like I said, Mercante was off the chain in the turf on a softer turf. I don't think the Gunrunner progeny can cook like that on a firm turf. I think it's Laginos and Brilliant Birdie for me. I think that Mercante can hang on for the exotics, so I'm not throwing them out. And I like Hershey as a long shot play, so I'm gonna put the 5 on top. Laginos for the win. Then Brilliant Birdie is the next up. Those are top two horses. Then a slight gap, and then you got the 4 and the 8 underneath. Let's round things out with race number 11, the Regret Stakes, going 9 furlongs on the turf. Mile and an eighth on the turf, Grade 3 Regret fillies for 3-year-old fillies, and gonna skip the one Jalila. Not really fast enough. No thanks. Here for a good time. Nice run under Saez. Gets Irad up for this one. Trying for 3 straight wins, but just major league steps up in class here. So I'm not going to be. It's by Justify, so impeccably bred. Justify does produce good turf horses, so it wouldn't be surprised if they grabbed a little piece. But I'm going to pass. There's another Justify horse that I'm going to be looking at a little bit later. So let's go on down here. Altadora is one that I looked really close at. Moved up to 4th place in the Grade 2 Edgewood. Got off kind of slow and was just chasing, and then just was handed an inside move down the stretch and was running really hard down the stretch. But like I said, -10, -12 pace. I just that shies me away. But was able to move up to 4th. But the previous race had a super fast pace where he closed to 2nd on. So sometimes that makes me wonder what they'd rather have. The slow pace, you can't get it done. The fast pace, you can't get it done. So you can see how this one was a little bit faster. I think the pace would matter. Only improved chances for this one, but I'm going to pass. Fixing to be won by a head over the Golden Sunshine. I like horses. I like turf horses with English channel and the name B in the same sentence. So that one is kind of an interesting one, but I don't think we're going to look at it here. Classic Q is another one that I thought just took advantage of a really hot pace here. And I don't think you're going to get that kind of pace this time around. 3 wins and 8 starts for the combination of Cassie and Jose Ortiz. Is a versatile runner, so I wouldn't fight you on it. Now, this horse is going to have some interest. There's the Justify filly, totally justified. ran down here and versus some of the better horses. And Jessamine almost had it. Mayday ready, got it done. I thought that was a really telling race. Then tried to go to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf for the fillies. Number 6 is totally justified. That's George Arnold, Luis Saez, upgraded at the jockey, can run on the lead. Really got really just a bad trip in this Appalachian Grade 2, coming off of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, and wasn't just up to the task there. But night you can see Nitrogen was in that race, ran third. But I think, and then went up against Nitrogen, who won this race and won the next one after that. It's really good. Vixen's really good. Fion is in this race as well, so he's got that one to contend with. But I think that this horse is going to be ready to do some good damage here. I like the stretch out, average win distance 7.7. It's justify, so I'm interested in this colt. Lush Lips is definitely a logical choice for with Brendan Walsh, Flavian Pratt up. Ran second to Nitrogen on multiple occasions, but wasn't really much of a match. She was really ranking the Edgewood. I went back and rewatched that race from the beginning, and I mean, kicking her head. She was squeezed in between a couple of horses and just was not liking it whatsoever. But then once she got once Pratt settled her down around mid race or so, she did a patented rally and got up for second place, albeit a distant second, but still there. Fought pretty well in the Oaks, was passed up late and second best there to Nitrogen as well. But you can see got 2 wins before that. So Lush Lips would be a logical pick if you wanted. But here's Fionn, Brad Cox, Flojo. Came from way back in the Appalachians to get third. Had 3 straight wins at Fairgrounds. So I like this. I like this horse to grab a slice in my book. A stone dead closer. I'm not dismissing that at all. This one is kind of a long shot for me. James DeVito is the trainer. Brian Hernandez rides. But this horse ran in the same races the other horses ran in, like totally justified and whatnot. The Jessamine and other races as a juvenile, like had visions of Oaks dancing in their heads. Rags to Riches ran against Good Cheer and just got blown out by that. And then they decided to shelf her, and then came in and said, "Let's go try the turf, and we'll pop her in at 5.5 furlongs and see what she does." And she ran from dead last, pretty much, all the way up to third in a Grade 3 stakes race at Churchill Downs on May 10th with She's So Spicy and Kilwin. So wheeling back kind of fast, but just off a 5.5 furlong work. This horse is an interesting long shot play. I'm going to have to include it somewhere because I think that you could fill out a very nice trifecta in the process. Golden Sunshine, Godolphin horse, Owen Hardy, Vincent Chaminade. I mean, he's got some good results, but I'm not going to get there on that. Took too many races to break the maiden, in my opinion. I don't like that. So Deloraine is the other Owen Hardy. I like this one a lot better. This one actually ran pretty well in the Florida Oaks and the Gazelle. The same two ran pretty well against Ballerina Dioro and early on in the Gazelle, which was aspirations of Kentucky Oaks. So didn't get there for that race, but ready for this one. I think could be a decent price and underneath play only for me. So we're going to round it out there. And a strong field. So I do like the jock switch to Saez for Totally Justified. I think that's going to be helpful. The bad trip in the Appalachian, I think, could offer some value if people didn't know what happened to the horse in that race. Then you have Lush Lips, no doubt a threat to win her first graded stakes. She's kicking at the door. Fionn may round out the trifecta. And then you have, like I said, Micaiah, interesting long shot horse, out of mind for a long time, but did compete versus Oaks Phenom Good Cheer back in the day. So that close at 5.5 furlongs looked impressive. Can't wait to see what the stretch out looks like. Then you have Deloraine at the back of the pack, was on the Oaks Trail as a juvenile and could pop going back to the turf because Owen Hardy is very good, just similar to Brad Cox, about moving horses from all weather to turf and vice versa. As you saw, he had two Derby prep wins doing that, going from the turf to the dirt. So we'll see what happens. That's all for today. I am going to take Totally Justified to win that race. Remember to subscribe and give a like. All the comments with the hashtag BHS only help the channel. So lots more to come. We'll see you.